I get contacted all the time for people that want to buy land. The first question that I have for them is always, what do you want to do with the land? Because land is a very different process than buying a home or doing anything else. So there's several things that we have to check before we move forward on land. And the first thing is, how is that land zoned? So zoning is the city, county, or state requirement that are associated with the property that tell you what you can build, or what they call use. Use is what the land is zoned for and set up. So you have residential, you have rural, then there's commercial and industrial. All kinds of vacant land are different, and we want to know what that is before we get into land. Then land purchases are also different. They're rarely traditionally financeable, and only banks can finance them. They have to be in the upper price points, and you have to have 20% down. So this piece of land here, my clients just purchased, and they took out a home equity line of credit so that they could pay cash for this land. And we checked the zoning, we talked with the county, and they're gonna end up putting a mobile home on this land for their son that's gonna be going to school. And it's in between where they live and where the land is located, and their son's gonna be going to school. If you finance the land and you do get a loan for it because you have the 20% down, then there's usually a stipulation from the bank that you have to improve or develop that land within a 24-month period. You usually need some guidance and advice when you're improving the property. I had clients that bought a lot 4 years ago. They wanted to build their dream home for retirement there. They didn't ask for local or developers that I knew that could build the house for them. They went with someone in an online search, and after they made all their changes and got underway, the project cost them $150,000 more than they had anticipated spending. So it can get costly in developing land. So if you're someone who is just thinking you want a rural property, you want a lot of land, it might be a better idea for us to find a pre-existing home or structure that has acreage associated with it. FHA and VA loans, you can get up to 10 acres with that loan. And conventional would go in a different area. You might be able to get a little bit more, but there's going to be a case-by-case basis, and it's going to depend on what's on the land. So make sure that you are working closely with an agent that understands zoning, restrictions, guidelines for building, and take their advice once you get into the project, because having someone that can guide you, whether it's through the build process, the zoning process, or installing something on the land, because it can get really costly and out of hand very quickly. So having a trusted advisor is very important. And if you want to be off grid, or you're looking for property or land, I am an Arizona native. I know all of the areas. I've sold land from Wickenburg to Casa Grande to Gold Canyon to Kearney, all of the smaller outlying cities, and I can help you go through the process with the powers that be that guide the zoning, help you find out if there are any deed restrictions on the property for building, and what the use of the property is, so that you can make improvements to make that land work for you and what you're looking to do. I'd love to hear from you if you were thinking about buying land and what you want to do with it. And as always, I'm here to answer all of your questions. Drop a comment below and tell me if you've been thinking about land, what were you thinking you wanted to do with it, and what could we find that would fit your lifestyle, that is either a homestead, a farmstead, or just extra land that you want to have space on after everything that goes on in the world, just peaceful slice of the desert that you can call your own.